Pretend you have a magical MVP or whatever it is. What's going to be the hardest part about making this business successful? To think it differently.
Building incentives and partnerships to entice people to not only visit the site, but stay on the site and be active.
Okay, so I'm going to play this back. Maybe to get engaged users to come to your site and stay.
Yes.
Is that a good way to frame it? Okay, good. So that's the thing that you would say makes you the most nervous
Yes.
about this being successful. All right. So what kind of suggestions do people have about what are kind of some examples of ways that you can test to see if you can drive engagement of professionals in this industry? Any ideas? Come on, now this is embarrassing, someone. John, I'm calling you.
She could have some sort of pre-existing conversation platform like Facebook, where she could bring up conversation topics or ideas and see if people engage in conversations on those platforms.
Great idea. I think one example to take that one step further is come up with a list of topics and see what kind of drives the most engagement on it. So even use your own Facebook platform. Just post that out there and see, do people more likely share photos or do they care about whatever it might be, and really, really track. So that's a great example of using on social media.
If there is an annual beauty event where all these professionals are going to be, if there's some way to booth space or somehow target and just question those folks, so you can get a sense of what is missing and what they would find valuable.
Yeah. So kind of interviewing in like a more focused set of people. Have you ever written a blog post about any of these topics?
Just specifically about what people would want from the site?
No. What you think your audience cares about.
Yes, I have.
You have? What was the traffic like? Was it good? Bad?
I mean, it was very recent, so.
So write more. 89 in 10 weeks.
Yes.
Is a good example. Other suggestions, comments?
Maybe you could do a blog post in a more directed forum, like if there's some online gathering place for your target customer, you can put it there and see if there's any interest.
Okay.
So is the goal of your site to have people network with each other?
Yes.
Is that the idea? So is there any kind of ways that you could potentially test something around maybe a matching type of a platform where someone can say, I'm looking to meet X or Y, and you guys can facilitate that kind of connection?
Okay. Yeah, we do have a directory where people can search for specific types of artists, like master colorists, and view their portfolio. And
So I'm going to beat up on you just a second right there.
Sure.
So what you described there is a feature,
Okay.
but actually it's not. What you really, really want to focus on is how are you actually testing something, as opposed to like, we've got this directory. What you really want to figure out is how you can drive the behavior you want, not here's a feature that could do it, like how do you actually make people connect, right? So rather than thinking about we've got a directory they could go to, better like how do we make people use the directory? Or how do we think about it that way?
Okay.
So what other suggestions? What would you guys build if you had a month? What are the kind of things that you guys would want to test for this business? Calling you. Yeah.
I would say create a landing page about certain types of haircuts that people like, going in and asking your barber or a guy's barber, but your stylist, and then find out celebrities who have that, and then people who are in the area that can make that style for people like to do what celebrities do.
Great idea. So I like it. I'd say it's a good example. So your homework. I'm going to take your idea here. We're going to say, I think you should try and write a few blog posts that are somewhat asking questions about what people want to meet. Yeah, who's like your famous celebrities that you want to meet in the industry or whatever it might be. And I think the other one is to actually set up a series of landing pages where you can test something, where you can actually buy some traffic on AdWords or Facebook, and see if you can get people to click like sign up for an appointment or notify me how I can do this or whatever it is, where you're actually trying to get someone to click something, track that click, and figure out if people will actually come, land, and kind of calculate the cost there. So that was like, write a few blog posts just and see what kind of engagement you get on different topics, pick different topics, and then do a series of landing pages and see what kind of engagement you get for actually like, what's the cost to acquire a user to basically sign up for something.
Okay, I've done an AdWords campaign on Facebook, and I have over 130,000 likes right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
130,000?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty darn good.
We have pretty good branding, and I've reached out to people, artists. I keep adding them, spamming them, and asking them specifically what they think about my product, and a lot of them have actually signed up.
Cool.
Without doing any other ad campaigns.
Good. Try to do a landing page that's that's outside of Facebook, because ultimately what you're seeing if you can get someone to quote unquote buy.
Okay.
So like the goal of like whatever that means to buy something, meaning
Okay.
if they're gonna actually do something, see what you can get on that one, because this, that's the trick here, right? Is like, see if someone will do something like that.
Okay.
Good luck.
Great, thank
We'll
you.
see you next week.
I'm Ben Connell, I'm a co-founder of FootTrax Analytics.
All right, and so why don't you give a 30-second description of what your solution is going to do?
We're looking at providing advisory services to small businesses and commercial real estate based on foot traffic analytics, analyzing what's going on outside of the storefront, and can that influence your decisions? Can that influence who you bring in, how many people you bring in?
So to push on that, so your target customer are small retailers, is that right?
We have two different segments that we're looking at: commercial real estate, and which is still very much in the customer development phase, and small businesses, which is further along the process.
Awesome, okay. So what kind of ideas do you guys have of MVPs that these guys could test to actually learn something about kind of either commercial realtors or small realtors, commercial real estate or small retailers, small businesses? Any ideas? You guys read any blog posts so far?
Well, first you have to answer if you wrote any blog posts.
Yes.
No, we have not written any
You guys
blog
got
posts.
a blog.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys were pitching this earlier on. The concierge MVP really works well for you, and having that facade, and then basically when you guys have to go down there and sit there and write who's walking by the store.
Yeah.
Have you guys been doing that?
We have a pilot customer in a small business, and we will have a sensor installed here in the next couple of weeks.
But beyond, simpler than a sensor.
Oh yeah, no, I actually counted there. Yes, we've each done that individually.
Okay.
We've gone through several MVP iterations.
I think the blogging one is a really interesting one for you guys too, to see if actually, because the question that I would have is, do either commercial realtors or do owners actually care about this, to see if you can strike up a dialogue. So I'd encourage you guys to do a blog series to actually push some of the envelopes about the importance of this and ask questions. The other thing too is, I think this is another perfect example for a landing page concept, just to use, I'm going to quickly because people are lurking outside, but I think this is a good example of a landing page one, to see if you can basically run ads on Facebook or on AdWords to say, small business owner, want to learn about foot traffic in your area, click here and see what kind of conversions you can get on that.
Okay.
So I'd recommend those two, see what you can do and come back and report in.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks guys.